careful, don't knock that off there.
Oh, what we got going there? Mouse trap?
Yep. A better mousetrap.
It's 6 o'clock. Call meeting to order, and please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I do.
Can we start with Mr. Brockman, please? Go ahead, sir.
Hi, I'm Aaron Brodsman. I live at 322 Weaver Road, Athens Township. I'd like to talk a little bit about the roads. This is the third year, maybe the fourth year I've had down here to talk about the same subject. So I was wondering, is there an expiration date or anything like that? If we get something passed through the township, that work actually gets done, or we just wait till you do it and hopefully it gets done in 10 years?
I mean, we come up with a plan every year and try to execute the plan as best we can.
No, I mean, I've been here and I got approved. You had a pipe put in up on the hill and some work done. Been approved. I believe 3 years ago. And then every year since I come down and get it reapproved. It still hasn't been done. So how long do I have to wait?
Is that on your road?
It's on my road, yeah.
So that was work that was scheduled to be done on Weaver and then just never got done.
Never. They come up, looked at it, put some paint on the road, told me it'd be done this year before the snow flew.
Who was it that came up and talked to you?
The road crew, the whole road crew.
I think it was Garrett.
Garrett went up?
No.
I think it was after
Garrett was
Garrett
gone.
had already left.
We're working on the third foreman now.
So it was between Garrett and, got it, okay.
So just wondering how long it takes for something that gets passed through the supervisors to actually, for work to get done. It's 3 years, it sounds to me like a little bit out of line.
I mean, I don't know that we approved work to be done necessarily.
Well, it's in the minutes of the meeting.
They do the road crew gives us their schedule of what they're gonna do, but
I brought it to this meeting right here, and it got approved right here.
the last meeting in
It's
January.
been a while, that it was approved, so we just need,
So was it
Tony to,
the road crew that gave us the list of things they were doing and then they
Correct.
didn't get done?
correct, yes.
This is the third time I've had to stand up and say the same thing for 3 years in a row.
So, Tony, can you
Yeah, I will, yeah.
get a timeline of when it
Yep.
can be done, okay?
And then I was wondering if you could supply me with an MSDS sheet on what you're spraying on the roads for dust control.
It's just the calcium chloride. But we can get that.
Because the roads are dusty to start with, and then you put dust on top of dust, and then we gotta breathe that crap until wherever it doesn't work. We gotta breathe that.
Yeah, we can get that from the company. that
So I'd like to
supplies it.
copy the MSDS sheet on that.
Okay, so Tony, can you get that for him too?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay,
It's calcium.
And then I'd like to talk about the bonus that was given.
okay. Mr. Brunson, your 3 minutes is up unfortunately. We do have that listed as one of the things that we're going to be talking about during
What's
the
the
meeting.
3-minute rule? It's 20 below zero, these people are coming down here to talk.
Besides that, I shouldn't have to even come down here and talk about the first subject, because that was three 3 years in a row I've had now talk about the same subject. And I didn't get an answer from anybody that's sitting there. You're talking amongst yourselves, what about talking to me?
Like I said, we have a rule that everyone gets 3 minutes.
No, I'm talking about my
We don't
question.
get to
I
rewrite
just
the
asked you a
sunshine
question,
law.
nobody give me an answer.
Well, it's on our agenda, sir.
Huh?
It's on our agenda. We will
What
talk
was
about
the
that.
answer
when we-
to my question?
Aaron, we have, it's been the policy for quite a while.
Yeah, I realize
So
that.
we can move the meeting along.
That's fine and dandy. They don't wanna talk about the bonus, is that why?
All right,
It's on
please.
the agenda.
It's on our agenda, sir.
It
Thank
will
you.
be addressed. We're gonna address it, it's on the agenda.
Yep,
3 minutes, huh?
yep, everybody gets 3 minutes that's in the voice of residents.
I've been waiting 3 years. You got 3 minutes, I get 3 years.
We meet twice a month. Next we have William King.
William Joseph King, 19 Moore Road, Athens, PA. I have questions on our trucks. We have several trucks in disrepair, the way we're being told. My first question is, do we do a daily sheet on these trucks?
They do inspections on them every day. They do before and after. Zach, the mechanic, updates his book. I've been here about 40 days, 45, and I just finally started doing a maintenance tracker in the back so I could start trying to track everything. Because when I took over, I had noticed the inspections being passed due and all that other stuff. So I'm trying to enforce it, and I finally got everything caught up to where we're down to the last vehicle. Last vehicle goes for a repair tomorrow, then we'll take it back over for the inspection.
So you're telling me they're being allowed to operate a vehicle with no sticker on it?
No, it's good until the 31st. Everything's still inspected. It runs out the end of this month.
Okay. Why do they let them run that long? You've got 3 months to get a vehicle inspected.
Yeah, we just found those deficiencies. A week ago, 2 weeks ago? Well, 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So why do they have all of them come and do the same month of the year?
That was the question I had.
You can back them up and put them wherever you want them.
Right, because I
We
even
got-
thought about doing that, staggering before the winter season, that way we don't run into this problem.
Right. They should all come due in June, July, August.
Right, I agree.
You made a statement at the last meeting, Furman and Jones is no longer inspecting.
I was told
That is incorrect.
Well, they are back in service?
No, they never were out.
Okay. So when did they get, I was told that they got put off, you can't do anything until March.
That's not true. I talked to Jeff, well, twice this week. I talked to him tonight, in fact, before I came over here,
Okay.
because he was gonna come to the meeting, but he is sick.
Okay.
So they are in fact inspecting vehicles. Now, tomorrow they may not be.
Thank you, Kelly.
Which truck has
Thank
the
you,
broken
Mr. King.
leaf spring?
It's
Pardon me?
truck
Thank you.
3 is a correct. It goes up tomorrow, it's not on the main.
Yeah.
They didn't catch that in the walk around in the morning?
No, he didn't, they caught it because it's on the inside part where the shock needed to, we had the deficiency. So it's just this really small crack that he didn't catch.
There's a
do
big
have
difference
one
between
more
pre-ship
thing, if I might.
inspection and just clicking the boxes.
Yeah.
You need to watch these guys when they're loading these trucks. That's why you're having spring trouble.
Rosemary? Rosemary?
Hi, I'm Rosemary Firestein on Moore Road, and I have 3 topics. The first one, committee assignments. Last meeting, you made the committee assignments. Paul Kelly ran on getting the roads fixed. What you've been doing the last several years with Matt Moore in charge of the roads and buildings hasn't been effective. I'm sorry, Matt, but that's the case. Well, 2. Okay, so you just took 10 seconds of my time, I guess. So, I think that, I think something's gotta change, or the road conditions aren't gonna change, the building conditions are not gonna change. You made a statement, Tressa, that you made that decision by yourself, and I don't find that as very, along the lines of teamwork or deliberating with the other supervisors, and maybe they all agree with you, I don't know. But I know that a lot of people are here because the roads are not good, they're not being kept up. And I think Mr. Kelly can make change happen with the roads. So I would like you to reconsider that assignment for roads and buildings to Mr. Kelly. The second topic is the monthly bills. I've said it in meetings before, I'm gonna repeat it again. At the second meeting of the month, you say, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the bills and pay the bills, somebody seconds it, then you pass it, but you don't ever tell us what the bills are. I'd like you to make that available, at least at that end of the month meeting. The third topic is the monthly funds balance sheet. I think given the condition of the roads and the fact that we keep saying that we don't have the money to fix them, I think that monthly funds balance sheets for each account ought to be made available at least at the second meeting of the month, if not both meetings of the month. I don't know how much work that would be for you, Mason, but I think that the public should have access to that, whether or not it's in the office and we come in during the day, or at that last monthly meeting. You've got a screen up here, I've seen Lauren use it before, put it up there and talk through where we're at with finances, provided you keep saying that we don't have the funds to correct the roads. So, that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Rosemary. We'll definitely take that into consideration.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. I put a couple of microphones up there because we can't hear you. If you could please use those when you're talking so that the recording and live stream people can hear what is being said. I think they're in front of Matt now.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the Township Authority. We do have the minutes from December the 15th. Their December bills were $31,009.88. So they had elected to pay them. There is a delinquent list for the authority, and that's $18,466. They're asking for the attorney to send a letter to the landlords for that. I don't know, John, if you're there,
No, I know who it is, but
Okay. And then there is a maintenance need for pump station 8. And other than that, it looks as though there was nothing else on the authority. Moving on to the planning. Planning met on January the 12th. It was, looks like they did their reorganization that meeting. That doesn't look like there was anything.
Tressa, who's on the planning commission?
Well, Marion Carling is the chairwoman,
Mm-hmm.
and then, Ron goes to the meetings.
Mr. Reagan?
Yes, sir.
Paul, you have one of these, you have the, you have the draft minutes
You
in
have the minutes.
your
And
packet.
his daughter
Or not, for mine,
Well,
and Ms. Petroshak's husband, is that correct?
there's a whole list of people on the minutes.
I just asked who was on the planning commission, it's not that hard.
It's on the top of the paper that was sent out.
I can read, I want these folks to hear.
It's pretty public knowledge. I would say. Looks like Ron didn't go to the last meeting. Marion's not here, so I guess there's nothing for planning to do. The township volunteer fire company, those minutes, there was 325 miles on the trucks last month. It was a $350.19 gas fuel bill. And they had 20 hours of training. And that's it for the volunteer fire company.
We have their year end, unless they don't do that, because it didn't have it on the
Oh, I see here. So for 2025, the fire company responded to 235 calls with 2,746 personnel hours. They traveled 6,089 miles. They completed 214 classes, and their total fuel cost for the year was $4,058.66. Let's see what she said.
I spoke to the chief today, he said he really never knew.
Well, that's not true because I went to the meetings when I was on the
He
planning
said he'd never
commission.
spoken to you.
Did you go to the meeting? The fire company meeting?
No, I called the chief today.
Well, they do have a fire company meeting every month, and when I was on the fire company, that was my committee. I attended the fire company meetings as I could, so that I was able to get more information, and then the fire chief would come to our meetings.
I will be
As they
meeting with
could.
him in the next couple of days.
Next, we'll move on to the Parks Commission. Parks met in January. They,
It was rescheduled. Yeah.
looks like they have an Eagle Scout that's going to be doing a project in February. They're gonna meet with her again. Vandalism is still a problem at Moses Landing, which they're meeting with the softball association in order to have practices both at Jim King and Round Top Park. And their next meeting is February the 23rd. It's not rescheduled. Next we have the Department of Public Works.
There's a question.
Yeah, we went to Tozy's the other day, and the garbage can over there is like full and this much higher. There's garbage all over the ground out there. Who's in charge of keeping that cleaned up?
The grounds for that every day.
Can let them know tomorrow.
Public Works. Tony?
I just wanna revisit on truck one with them being the all-season tires. I mean, I know they're 3-4 years old, but they're not good.
I
What's wrong
printed
with
those
you?
pictures and gave them to you. I didn't provide like a copy of them for everybody, so we wanted to pass those around. I think they're in your
Oh, okay. Yeah, they just,
packet.
they don't grab, the front right one has a blow up, there's a cutout on the front right sidewall. I was helping plow intersections on Weaver Road Monday, and I went sideways. I was going sideways down the hill, doing circles until I could finally hit against the side of the road and stop. I mean, we tried backing it in, just to back it into the driveway or into the garage the other day. I had to put it in 4-wheel drive. I don't know, they just don't grab or not.
You would make a 2-inch hump,
Hmm.
you wouldn't drive over that?
They would, no, not in the driveway. I mean,
Well, the driveway is like a sheet of ice anyway.
over the lip to get into the garage. So it was just, I don't know. I don't know if it's, I mean, they have, the tread's not bad. I mean, I'm not denying that. It's just, they don't grab it up. And it's
The
just
tread's
bad,
good.
and it's bad
The
when you
truck
can't,
just passed
it's bad when
inspection.
you can't drive down the road and you almost have to be in 4-wheel drive for them to wanna grab.
What kind of truck was it?
It's an F-250, sir. Just a little pickup.
sure the four-wheel drive unit's working.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
working,
sound
'cause
like
you
tires
can,
to me.
you can tell the difference when you're driving it.
You stay around Weaver Road and
Yeah, it was up around Weaver and Braddock. We were going sideways, trying to clear the intersections and try to help, and then, just in the neighborhood, across from Peterson's.
Does that
trying to
truck
help
have a
out.
plow on it?
Yeah, it does.
It did this afternoon.
Yeah, it is on there, it's still on.
Nancy Witt and I went through the shop today.
Yeah, you're standing right next to it, that's where the guys went to
With
raise
all
the,
four of them.
That's where the guys were raising the garage
I
doors.
guess we were cleaning the garage again.
So,
Tony, is that, so are those tires something that would be okay in mud? I mean, if they're spring tires,
they even slip a little bit when you go out there to get your loads. I don't know if it's a weight, I don't know if it's just style truck, I don't know. I don't know. They're terrible for pickup truck tires.
and they weren't replaced in the fall, were they? I mean, I don't drive a truck, so I'm not sure, but
No, from what I was
you
told,
take your
they're,
spring tires off in the fall and you put your fall
Right.
winter tires on, is that right?
and what they're saying, the guys, and again, cause I've only been here a month and a half, the guy said they don't, that's the only set of tires they have for it. It came off of the,
It came off of another truck.
another truck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Are they two different size tires?
Nancy Witt and I went out and walked through the shop today. I looked at the garage doors, I had the, road crew open and close every door. I don't know what we're talking about buying new doors.
That's
Young
me.
lady sitting back in the back there.
Nice to meet
She
you.
was an 05 in the
Yeah,
picture.
well,
How about me?
nobody besides
buy a lot of tires for
employees
$10,000 kinda.
are, or someone.
I mean, these are for 800.
Oh, really?
It says employees only, it says on the person.
You buy a lot of tires for $10,000.
Okay, well, I won't go in the shop again.
You're township supervisor, you're employed by the township, so.
I'm not employed by anyone.
You are. Fill out the paperwork and send it in that you're an employee.
I think it actually says authorized personnel.
I offered to be the road supervisor 3 times for $1. I don't think that's in the minutes anyway.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, it's not a jungle gym, it's for people right there.
So Tony, you're revisiting this because you feel as though it's unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, yes.
And we can keep those tires to put them on for
For
the
the
summer,
summer, yes.
spring, and be fine.
Yeah.
And then,
And then
these
winter,
would,
change that.
and they would potentially be okay to do again next
Yes.
winter, so it's not, we can just keep them in the
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah, the tread, I mean, the tread's fine, it's fine if you're, it's just when it comes to pushing snow or anything to do with the snow or ice.
And Tony, do you check to see that you have, the amount that you would need in the budget?
Yeah,
And so
we,
you have it in your budget?
for like Steve Shannon, it was like $800, I don't know.
So the quote that we have, there's one quote for $911.80, one quote for $800 even, and then another quote with 2 different tires. One is $932.44, the other is $1,182.44.
That's what the amendment.
So we would, you're looking at the $800 quote, is that correct?
The back tires are not bad?
Gotta match 'em.
So the red truck that we had up on the roof bed that was all rotted
I
out,
remember that.
that's where they came from, because the ones that were on the truck wanted to jump, so we swapped
we
them out.
swapped them.
Yeah, so that's the tread on them.
Makes sense.
There was no snow plow on that truck, so it didn't have snow tires on it.
Right. So if we wanna go forward with this, I just need a motion.
I don't believe the
purchased
truck
the,
needs tires.
truck one
I
tire.
You're not
looked at
out
them
there
today.
driving it and you're not behind the wheel.
So,
Bonnie has a
I
motion,
make a
I'll
motion
second. And
All
he's
in
saying
favor?
that they're a liability. All in
They have
favor?
tire
to
gauges,
safety
okay?
issue too.
So Bonnie's motion.
Somebody needs tires,
I
that
second
truck.
it. All in favor?
No.
Aye. Any opposed? All opposed. Motion passes. I'm not getting rid of them. No, we're keeping
Yeah.
them.
we'll keep them and put them
I
in.
just need that. Yeah. Next, the truck 3 repairs.
Yeah,
That
so-
we talked, is that the other one that we talked about?
Truck 3 is the last one that's left. That's gonna go up to Allied Spring in the morning. We're just gonna replace both the leaves, the sets there, and then, we'll set up the inspection, take it back over to Sutton's, and then have them, check it, make sure nothing changed.
Okay.
And
Is
then
that
that'll be
the
the last
Elmira Spring
vehicle.
Works?
What's that, sir?
Is that Elmira Spring Works?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and then you have a draft bid,
I didn't have time to get that.
so we'll table that. The update to the Westminster dump truck.
Yeah, that vehicle is now in Bradco. It got there, end of last week or Wednesday. So it's still in line to get going, to get installed. I mean, nothing's really jumped out of the, whatever was in front of it. It's finally made it at least.
That's good news.
I mean, the guys, I know Mike had found a really nice truck. It's a used one, a used, township or state truck. It's in Trout Run right now for $30,000.
Anybody go look at it?
No,
Oh,
because
I got a picture of a truck.
yeah, but I mean, we haven't gone and looked at it because I got, I had to wait to ask
Yeah,
to look at it.
Does it have a plow and a
Here's
spreader
the-
for it?
Here.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
So
I just didn't-
everything.
There's a bunch of them here.
Oh,
It's compatible with truck 4, so that output would go.
oh, okay.
No, there's not, Matt, cause I called the guy.
Oh, okay.
There's no plow or no spreader available for it.
Right, the Chris's will go into a truck 4.
Okay, thank you for keeping us posted on that.
Wait, that drop-in spreader from Old Mac will work on this?
Yeah, and I spoke to that guy today, John is his name, and it's still available. So I can send, somebody down there, a couple guys to look at it.
Zach's confident we can match that plow moving up for it.
Yep.
We had that money allocated for the zoning vehicle that we got the grant money for.
Right. Cover it.
Why are they getting rid of it?
I didn't
They
ask
missed
him.
that.
I talked to him on Facebook, 'cause that's where Mike had found it. I think what they're doing is they're cycling, they're just trying to sell that one off to make some money off it.
Usually people get rid of the trucks for
Right.
certain reasons.
That's one of the reasons why I
You don't
wanted to
wanna
make
buy
sure we look
somebody
at
else's
it.
property and then end up putting in
That was
20
in
years.
'09,
Oh, right.
yeah.
That's probably why they were getting rid of it. Cause in '09, his life cycles.
It's just I don't have any backups, and that'd be it's a
You only have
viable
a
option.
2009 now with a rider frame.
Well, I'll tell you, I looked at the pictures of this truck, and the frame looks really nice, from what I can see.
Right.
And the truck is not beat from what you can see. It doesn't really look that bad.
Yeah, it was a nice truck.
Okay, so just keep us posted, please. Next we have the regional pavement preservation and recycling training. This is an LTAP class, so this would be, something something that, is that something you would be interested to attend, Tony?
It is, I mean, just, 'cause there's so much to learn, especially in this job. I don't wanna make the same mistakes that other people are making. I wanna try to figure out, you know, a right direction and try to learn all I can.
Well, I would make a motion to allow Tony to attend that workshop on February the 12th. It is a free workshop, so it's at no cost to the township. He would just need to drive down and come back. So I'll make a motion that Tony attends that workshop.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. I'm excited to hear about that, Tony.
Good thing.
Next we have the Athens Township Police Department.
Their, annual report, their regular report is on the back side of that.
Says
Sorry, kind of rolls into one.
the 2025 annual police report, there were 3,510 calls for service, 360 criminal offenses reported and investigated, 88 felonies, 200 misdemeanors, 55 summaries, for a total of 343 criminal arrests. There were 196 traffic enforcement citations, 780 warnings, for a total of 976. There were 35 warrants served, 44 reportable motor vehicle accidents, 101 non-reportable, for a total of 125. We had 55,666 miles on our vehicles, with 4,840.2 gallons of gasoline, with an 11.5 average mile per gallon. There was $45,576.92 in stolen property.
52.
What did I say? 45? My dyslexia is going on. But we recovered 29,667, and that would have been the 2025 annual report. Our monthly service in December of 2025, we had 166 calls for service, 3 citations were issued with 14 warnings. We did have quite a few, 2 warrants were served, 1 received, and 171 outstanding warrants. We did have $200 in stolen property with none recovered, 14 motor vehicle accidents. There were 20 reported and investigated crimes and 6 arrests. So good job, Rodney and your team. We do have an invoice for the computer replacement for Chief Klink. This would be for the Windows 11 Pro, the data recovery, and the hard drive crash, which was $1,229. He does have that here in his line item. So your hard drive crashed, is that what you're telling me? Alright, well, I'll make a motion for us to be able to complete that replacement.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Why did the hard drive crash?
Thank you.
It broke.
No? No,
It
right?
crashed.
You're gonna pay $1,200 and buy a computer for that.
There's 8 years of administrative information on that hard drive that we need.
I'm not disputing that.
Next we have a motion to accept the monthly reports. The authority report, the planning report, the fire, parks, roads, police, and building permits.
And, zoning, the zoning permit says it yearly, summary too.
Okay, so the only one that, well, I guess the only one that I didn't read this 2025 summary was zoning. So there were 27 accessory structures put up, 8 trailers or modulars, 3 new single-family dwellings. There were 13 signs, 6 pools, 6 demolitions, 3 additions, 15 temporary events or roadside stands, 15 fences, 14 decks, porches, or ramps, 5 land development or new business plans, One temporary RV, one permit renewal for the floodplain, one communication tower for the new antenna, a recreational cabin permit, there was one, the solar panel permits were 4, retaining walls was 1, utilities was 1, and the bridge project was 2. So that was the end of 2025. The zoning report for January, looks like there was 3 different permits that were issued. There were 4 notices sent to residents, and there was one of the special exception was withdrawn for the agribusiness. And that's all the reports. I just need a motion to accept them.
What was that last one?
The last report was the zoning report.
You said it was withdrawn?
The special exception, the application for,
For the
agribusiness.
Burns were gonna do their agribusiness, where they were gonna have a business within their, on their farm, but they needed the application for it to go through, they withdrew the application.
I understand you guys give them an awful hard time over this whole thing.
No, actually, we just asked them to apply so that we could get them the correct permit. And they had to, I think there was a zoning change that needed to be done, if I remember correctly.
There were several different steps that they were gonna meet. The reason that they withdrew had nothing to do with the township. They wanted a different location that would be more centrally located, is my understanding.
Yeah, because you guys give them such a hard time, you had to.
Well, I know, it's not what they said. You were right on their property.
I got that right from your horse's mouth.
And I apologize, I can't find a piece of paper on the, police cars and miles.
It's on the
That's the police report.
No, that's what I'm, I've only got one on.
Here, Paul.
It has the badge on the front.
Tressa, are you gonna post those reports on the reports tab on the website?
I would assume. I don't do the website, that's not, that's her job, but, I know that they had some issues with the website, I don't know that they were resolved.
we still can't do anything right now because of today.
Okay.
From here, but the reports have information that has to be redacted before they can be listed, the track of personal information. But they will be once they are, we will be uploaded.
Okay.
Chief, help me out with these, vehicles here. The Ford 2020 Ford number 302, is that a truck or car?
SUV.
SUV? It's getting 9 miles a gallon?
Sometimes, correct, yes.
Ford 302?
That's the one you just asked.
No, I'm sorry, the Chevy 303, 2013. Used 21 gallons of gas to go 147 miles.
That's a 2013 unmarked SRO vehicle.
84 gallons of gas to go 958 miles. These numbers aren't, they don't add up right.
Do those numbers include idle time?
Well, that's my next question, Mike, thank you. Are these cars idling all night long?
Of course not.
Well, then where's all the gas going? We either have a maintenance issue.
We don't. There's a difference between highway miles and in-town miles.
Look,
I think you know that.
I work for the federal government. I used to drive 400, 500, 600 miles a week. I know how much gas it takes.
I just need a motion to accept the monthly reports, so I'm hitting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll make this, sorry.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, motion to pay the monthly bills, to include the motion to pay the bills due on each meeting agenda. That way, we don't pay a late fee that correct, Mason?
Correct, yes.
So I'll make a motion to pay the monthly bills and include the motion to pay bills due. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, approve the minutes of the supervisor meeting on the 14th.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next, consider or discuss the Baker Tilly audit submission and invoice.
Yep, it was,
So it was
submitted.
approved?
Yep, and it was approved and submitted and the copy is here for the record.
Okay.
And
The invoice total was $2,205 for the total audit. And that included that big long,
and these are, I have Mason done a report on what had been paid out to them already, so it was clear that we were.
so how much do we owe? This is how much we paid out?
The contract was for 30.
Is that just a retainer, like the remaining part of it?
Yeah, the contract was for the 38.5.
Okay, so this is what the balance that we owe for
Yeah.
that.
Do you need a new road? You are?
So I just need a motion
What you got?
to accept that and pay the invoice.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. That's done. The CPA options to review. This would be for moving forward.
We did not hear back, we only heard back from one that we had reached out to,
That was this guy.
Shannon?
no, Alex Shannon, they, sent us the, what is it called?
Their base fee was $6,000 plus any additional
Basically their quote
accrued
for service.
expenses that arise afterwards or during the audit, so.
They couldn't do the quote for service until they had a copy of this audit to review, then they provide the quote based on that. So we did submit it to Alex Shannon, Guthrie, Poe, and
I requested another quote from Baker Tilly to see what their quote would be based on the perception that they did the audit in the prior year, so it'd be a 2-year comparison, and they would already have a background on what to expect, and it would be more efficient for them to do it per se. So I would ask them for a quote, and then they got back to me asking me some questions regarding the 2025 and if our asset report was done by the third party yet. And they got back to them, they expected that to be done by mid-February, so the latest we can start the audit by before the end of February,
Industrial
if we do
appraisal?
find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll reconsider this with the February meeting.
we should be able to have at least the first of this by.
Yes, and I also reached out to my prior employer, auditing tax firm I used to work for, and one of the partners said that I could send over the engagement letter that they proposed, and she would look over it to see if everything made sense and if it was a reasonable price or not.
Okay. Thank you. We have the expand energy lease update.
That is not in the same order as the rest of the documents, it's just underneath on the bottom, cause I got it after the fact. It was already, this is the one that was approved back in November. Yep, and then that, but the documents didn't have the right dates on them because it had been discussed and changed, and the revision didn't have the right date. So we were waiting for the hard copy. By the time the hard copy actually got here, we didn't have, it was
Right after
it was
the
right
meeting.
after that meeting in
But
December.
beyond that, there was also an issue with the addendum, which has now been corrected and included as part of this proposals.
Okay, good. So this is something that we can pass.
Yes.
So the only things that were different were the update.
Is that the lease on the park?
No,
No.
What's happened to that?
at this point, there's no movement whatsoever towards leasing the park.
Nobody's interested into it, or?
Not at this point.
No?
This is for 35.12 acres that the township has at $1,500 an acre for a total of $52,680 for a 5-year lease. To explain.
It's a little weak for 5 years. 1,500 is a low number.
Was 12, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's higher than
And of course, there's also royalties that potentially could get paid. This is also a no access lease, which of course would prevent us from actually storing any products and or accessing the surface of the property.
Okay, I just need a motion for it to move forward.
everything is a normal contract.
It is the same contract that I've worked for over quite some time.
They just updated the things that
Correct.
we need to change. I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. I'll just sign it over. Next we have the bonuses that were approved at the supervisor meeting on the 17th of December.
I just included the minutes where the motion was made.
So, the motion from Mr. Moore, seconded by Mr. Reagan, to approve a $10,000 bonus for time and service to the township for Ms. Carling. And, on the motion of Mr. Freeland, seconded by Mr. Moore, there was a motion passed to approve a $10,000 bonus for time and service to, the township treasurer pro tem Lauren Hoteling. Both of those funds are listed in, 405.130. Megan's was to be payable immediately, Lauren's was to be payable on February 1st. And that was, I believe, to get us through the transition from, Lauren not being our treasurer, but staying pro tem for us through budget season, and to train Mason. And that was the delay in that, bonus, I think. Okay. So time and service to the township, again, that was something that, Mr. Thompson, if I remember correctly, we had asked you for clarification on if that's,
There's no prohibition against the municipality granting a performance bonus. The main issue is whether or not there's monies approved, which I think you've already stated that it was budgeted. There was an appropriate, provision made for those bonuses, and as a result of that, they have a separate agreement.
Was it run by the elected auditor?
Excuse me, where did the $10,000 come up from? Where'd that number come from? Who come up with the 10,000?
we had budgeted in our budget, we had additional funds available.
I know that. Where did the $10,000 come from? I mean, you give
well-
somebody a bonus, I can see $1,000, but $10,000? What did they do for that money?
Again, it was their time and their service to the township within that time period.
Don't they get paid?
Yeah, but they don't get paid much.
Did they accept the job?
Knowing what they've done and knowing that they went overboard to to do things that needed to get done outside of their workday. That was something that we all took into consideration when we talked about this.
What about the road crew? You tell me they don't get paid much. Did they get a bonus?
I mean, they definitely work overtime.
Winter don't count.
I don't get it.
I'll be filing an ethics complaint with you.
I don't get
Mr.
it
Thompson,
because one of the reasons
I
we
would
were
like to
here
ask,
time after time after time, and all we got told,
were the auditors
no
involved
money,
in
no
this?
money, no money.
Because there's an
for
ethical
roads.
issue if not.
And then
I
$20,000
honestly looked this up, I was like shocked.
You know, that hurts.
I
But-
don't understand, the
That
elected
was out of our
auditors have,
pocket.
that's for
out of ours, too.
a
It's an
supervisor
ethics.
that's working.
I get that, but if you look up, anybody can look it up. I actually found Green Township that ended up paying back monies by the supervisors because of this very exact thing. I'm not disputing that somebody deserves bonus. I'm just asking, ethically, was this done the proper way? I
I'll
know
take
it's
a look
nothing
at
else
this.
illegal, I get that.
I'll take a look at this case, I'm not familiar with this case. But
Because
you said Green Township?
Green Township in Pennsylvania did the exact same thing, and they said ethically, the auditors should be involved in that to say, okay, you're gonna do this or whatever. But I'm looking at the ethical part of it.
So
I know you,
I had actually asked the solicitor before I had brought this up in a meeting, requesting to be considered for a bonus. I had asked him if it needed to go in front of the auditor to have prior approval, and I was told that I was free to request, be considered, because I'm not a supervisor doing another job, like supervisor as a secretary.
I'm not disputing that you deserve the bonus. I think I probably am as a township taxpayer, disputing
taxpayer
probably
as
the
well, so
amount of it.
I paid myself a little bit.
The amount of it. But, I'm just saying ethically, where
I'll
do we
take a look
stand
at
with
it.
that?
I cannot speak to this
Mhm.
particular case, but I will research it. I have confidence, quite honestly, that the circumstances are different, but until I review it, I can't indicate absolutely. Because again,
Perfect.
I'm not familiar with this particular case.
Perfect, thank you.
So,
Can that money be surcharged to the board? Because I don't think it's fair to ask these two young ladies to pay that money back.
I mean, if
That's
there
what
was
I'm
an
asking,
ethical
Paul.
issue,
If it's an ethical issue, the board should be surcharged.
Paul, that's what I was asking the solicitor, because in Green Township, if you look up that case, the supervisors had to divide that equally of what they spent out in those bonuses. The people weren't required to pay it back, Green Township was. And I'm not disputing, Megan, that you deserve a bonus.
Thank you.
I wish that you could have seen what Lauren and Megan were doing when Ruth wasn't here in those months that we didn't have a treasurer
And Gary, and John, and.
yeah, it was a very crazy year. And I know that all of us supervisors, we specifically asked Mr. Thompson because we don't know the law ourselves either, which is why we deferred to our solicitor. We wanted to make sure that this was something that we were doing legally and it was allowed to be done, which is why we talked about it, so that we could do things appropriately because we did do a lot of extra work.
so was this on the agenda for that meeting? Because I'm pretty sure I was at that meeting and it wasn't on the agenda.
It would have had to have been on the agenda, and it would have been probably labeled personnel.
Probably, but that, another one you can look up, Mr. Thompson, is Reading versus Reading Eagle. Where you can't just say personnel and go in executive session and then give two $10,000 bonuses. It should be an agenda item where the public can comment before a decision is made. Reading versus Reading Eagle.
So I guess we can get those updates from you next meeting. Alright, next we have the cameras for township fuel tanks. I believe that,
Fuel tanks are on camera before that now.
yeah, the fuel tanks are already on camera. This is what, Paul, you had brought up at the end of last meeting. The police departments, we do have a camera that's on that backyard, and the fuel tanks are view on those cameras, so there are cameras already available to view, on our fuel tanks.
If I pull in there in my pickup truck and fill it up, will the camera pick it up?
Yes.
Okay.
If somebody looks at it.
That's it.
Okay, Pan Consulting Services renewal invoices. We have the police department's IT support and security for $17.85, and the township offices 2026 IT support and security in the amount of $40.15.
These are the same ones from the last meeting.
They just
I just didn't have the line
separated
item,
out.
yeah, I didn't have the line item numbers for them, and they were, at reorg, they were on the same invoice,
Okay.
he had separated them.
So the police 1785 will come from line item 410-260, which is the police budget. And the 4015 for the office will be line item 400-325, which is out of our office expenses. Is that correct?
Yes.
Chris, is this the website guy?
No, this is our IT guy.
Why y'all have so much trouble with the computers? Who's the one that's not making it work smoothly, so she can, didn't you say last time you had to take stuff home and work on it because you couldn't get in the system?
Cindy did, there was an issue with the firewall when they installed the new phone system, which then affected the email and everything else, and it's just been trying to find the right match that doesn't kick the next thing offline.
Is there anyone else that provides these services within the 59 service?
Yeah.
I think there are, but I think that the quotes that we got from them in relationship to the services that we were providing, or that this consulting firm was providing, were not comparable. Like, we were getting way more for our money with this service than we did with any of the others.
Apparently we're not.
It doesn't work.
Just because it's the lowest number doesn't mean you go buy it.
The public gonna be informed on any further bonuses before they're given?
We don't anticipate on bonuses.
Like, one-time deal?
I mean, yeah, we're talking about IT support right now.
No, you never answer a question. If someone asks a question, you gotta wait and not answer.
Well, no, we answered the question, but we moved on from that, and now we're later, so I mean, am I wrong, John?
No, I mean, but I think you've also answered the question that you're not anticipating granting any more bonuses in the foreseeable future.
Correct. And
That
to
is a
my,
response.
in my honesty, I don't, we never had any before either. I mean, this is the first time that in my 10 years here it's ever been done. So
Not what it said in the paper. In the paper it said you've done this in the past.
in my 10 years here, I have not.
On the paper it said you have.
Okay, well, I have. I haven't sat on the board when there was bonuses that were, maybe Ron has, but I mean, he was here before I was. And then he
I've heard
left
that on
for a
other
little
things.
while.
Well, that's the way we've always done it.
That's not the way that it was ever done in the time that I've been here.
On other subjects too. You'll say, well, that's the way we've always done it.
I don't like that phrase.
I don't
Since
either.
we're bouncing around, can somebody explain to me why our 313F Caterpillar excavator was parked up on game lands and frozen in the ground for months?
We gotta keep going, look what our agenda is here. So,
Oh, okay, let's stick to the agenda.
yeah, let's.
Does it make it different if it's frozen in the ground down here?
Yes.
Well, since you operate the thing,
Is this better ground or?
maybe you should put it up on 6x6s like anybody who knows what they're doing. So it doesn't freeze into the ground.
It's never been that way here.
What are you talking about?
I've never seen it jacked up on anything.
Have you ever driven it?
Yeah, for sure have.
Okay, well, why are you driving a township excavator? What
Because-
qualifies you to get in it?
It's in the MOU for the township supervisors that I'm able to.
No,
Read it. Read it.
you can't just make up a rule.
It's not a made up rule. Read it.
I just need to know if we want to make a motion on the Kai and consulting. Do we wanna continue with this,
Did you say me?
consulting firm or no?
Better watch your tone, Slut.
Hey,
I
come
just
on.
need a-
Stop
I
it
just need
right
a-
now.
I just
Grow
need a
up.
motion.
You're grown men, knock it off. We have a meeting that we're trying to run here,
Thanks, Mom.
not a kindergarten class. Enough. Go ahead, Tressa.
I just need to know if we would like to consider these two invoices. We already had talked about the fact that we have the money and that we would like to move forward with this. However, we wanted it clarified so that we were not paying the entire invoice out of one budget and that it was separated into the police budget and the office budget. That's the only clarification, so I just need a motion to be able to continue.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, Conrad Siegel's actuary services invoice. This was the non-uniform employee pension fund. This plan was from the 26th of August through the 11th of January in the amount of $6,450.
So it's August of 2024 through this January, so kind of overlap a little bit.
So that's good.
That's why it's a little bit higher than the regular amount that has been invoiced for.
And then
services.
the police employee pension is the same. Correct? Yeah. Alright, so I'll make a motion to pay both of those invoices for the pension funds.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, the COLA calculations, which is the cost of living. It looks as though the,
I did get some clarification.
it doesn't have a total.
It's not a total per person. So the cost of living would have, some of them have an increase, some of them don't. I know it is based off of an ordinance, it's based off of an ordinance that is the standard 2.7%, but there is only a certain amount to which you can go. So some of them are already maxed out, so it won't show an increase on theirs.
So these three members, Mr. Farley, Mr. Hurley, and Mr. Halter are maxed out.
Yep.
And then, Mr. Shaw and Mr. Stackhouse still have,
Yep.
additions.
So those just need to be, basically,
Just reviewed.
yeah, noted in minutes that they're being sent.
Those totals are monthly or annual?
Well, that's the cost of living, it looks as though it's,
I'm asking about the pension numbers here.
looks as though that's yearly. Same numbers. Next we have the traffic signal retimings, we have two options that we can review. So it looks like there's 4 different, lights, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a little confusing. The email is basically explaining the plan, and then it goes into the options for what.
So we have holiday shopping season and regular season.
The options are.
So the timing would be the same for all of the lights during the regular season, and then during the holiday season, it would run different timing. Is that correct? What's the benefit in that? Did they say? Mr. Lindsay, did they give you any information on that, the benefits of having them run 2 timers?
It's all in the email that,
There's another on the other side. This is the original email that was sent to Tony and I, and this was before when I started, and I wasn't really up to speed with what the whole thing was
yeah,
about.
'cause he originally
And he
just
didn't have any
emailed
idea
Chuck.
either, it was with Chuck, so this other, where they give the 2 options is where they're kind of summarizing it for Tony and I to help present it, but I thought that was like.
They sent me a chart. Didn't even see the chart.
Okay, I guess I'm confused about what the benefit is in having 2 timing systems. So if there's something that he can provide to us that tells us the benefit in changing the timings of the lights, I mean, I can't imagine that.
I'll go.
That'd be great, if you could just let us know for the next meeting. Next we have a meeting schedule review. So is this the calendar that?
Yep.
Okay. So looking at the meeting calendar, We're looking at every month having, 2 supervisor meetings, one on the second Wednesday and one on the last Wednesday of the month. Looks as though, planning is primarily the first Monday of the month. Parks would be the last Monday of the month. The authority, that one meets in South Waverly. The auditors meet, it's kinda hard to tell, but I think that they have their meetings. So their March meeting will be coming up, that's the next meeting for the auditors. Planning commission, looks like they meet the first and last Tuesday. But they didn't meet the first Tuesday in February, so is that just,
It's the Tuesday before their Monday meeting.
okay. And then the zoning hearing board meetings, if they're needed, are the next to last Tuesday in every month. Is there anything else that we need to review on this? I think someone had mentioned possibly returning to one meeting, at the end of the month for supervisors, because at the time that we did 2 meetings, it was when we were, without a secretary. We also had a lot of special meetings happening because we didn't have a treasurer and a secretary and a road crew, and everything was confusing. Do you remember this?
I remember why we set it up that way, yes.
So I think that, someone had mentioned possibly a discussion about not having to have 2 meetings per month now, because we do have those people in place. Is that
What
right?
have to do is there's things going on that,
Planning commission?
that, yes, that require us to have special meetings. So that's why we go to the 2 meetings a month. However, once a month is the normal, so that was the discussion of bringing back to once a month.
I think we stayed at 2.
Okay, so that can be something that, I wanna hear from Ron too, so if we could put that on next meeting so that we have a clearer picture. Next we have the declaration of the snow emergency for January 24th, for the last storm. I do have a letter from our emergency management coordinator, asking about the snow emergency. If we declare the snow emergency, really what that does is it allows us to open up for state funding, if there would be funding available due to the storm. Declare.
I didn't know if it was, like, then officially done.
I know in the
So I didn't
past.
want to miss it and have it not be addressed.
Yeah, and in the past, I know that we've gotten funding because we had a declaration, and that's more flooding, but still, we had the declaration in place, so we got the federal, or the state funding for it. So we would hate to miss out on funding for something that we could get money back for, let's say overtime for the trucks we had to run, so.
I know Eddie would prepare a resolution, if you will, like to review that, or if you have one.
I don't have one.
Okay.
Maybe
Set
we'll,
up just in
Yeah,
case
that's
we
what
get
I
a
had sent,
fire
I had said he had ready for, before on, Friday, when we had left that day, that he was going to leave a draft out, if that was something that was going to be declared, that way it was ready to be
my
set in place.
My question is, do these expire? Is there an amount of time that they expire? So if we
Do
were
I have to lift it?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I do believe you have to lift that.
So you
once
declare the
do it.
emergency, but then you have to lift the emergency, is that right?
To give it a time.
guess, talk about and decide if that's something that we need, how we move forward, because, you know, we don't know. The storm came on us, you know, over the weekend, and we didn't have a meeting ahead of time, so we, you know, if making a declaration without a meeting, we wanna make sure we're doing the right thing. So that's, I guess we can review that.
I wonder if you could ask like Dave Jarrett,
Well,
how it's done, so could one person, say Tony, be designated to
that.
declare the emergency, cause you know it's coming, and declare it, don't need the board of supervisors to do it,
I
'cause what if
think
it
that
snows the day after
it
the
would be
meeting?
better if we talk to a township, because I know boroughs and townships work differently, so maybe we can find out.
And you can do it, but the question is the authorization, whether or not you need to pass a resolution, because we don't have an ordinance.
So maybe we can come up with something that we can have, if we need an ordinance, we can have it be that our public works director would be able to
Right,
do that.
it's usually either the chairperson or the director of public works.
I would think that it would make more sense for the public works director, they're the ones that are out on the roads, like plowing and doing all the work, right? So could you draft a, policy or, an ordinance, whatever we would need to make that happen, so that we can have that in place moving forward?
Yeah, we did it last year.
So that one person would decide that, or there is Zoom nowadays, like, if there's an emergency, the
Well,
supervisors could Zoom, right?
That's true, but it's gotta be a public meeting, so we would have to
Oh,
put
it has
the
to be a
Zoom-
public meeting,
So we
okay.
would have to have the Zoom link out for everyone, like when we had COVID and we had that, we had to advertise the meeting with the Zoom link so that anybody who wanted to could
Perfect.
join.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah, so,
Whoever would be.
Well, you could do that for all these meetings.
yeah,
Coordinate with.
right. So if we had a blanket ordinance, we could do that and then just not have to worry about meeting and all. We don't have anything to deal with personnel or staff. The TIP program bridge replacement update.
I meant to put this growing greener thing up in the consider and discuss, but I realized after I posted it that I put it in the wrong section. So I didn't know if you wanted to jump to that first because it's still
The grant.
that decision needs to be made on it, so, or if you wanted to continue with the order.
Yeah, let's
that's
just
fine.
stay with the agenda. The TIP program bridge replacement, what's the update there?
Is that the one from Trini?
Aaron first.
Now, this is, basically, update on two things. PennDOT survey crew will be out doing field survey the next couple of months. Notice of intent to enter letters will be sent to adjoining property owners in the future. PennDOT has selected a design consultant for the project. Is it David, Dawood?
Yeah.
Dawood was selected to perform the design work for the project. Currently working on finalizing the contract.
So this is Miller and Moore Road bridges?
Moore and Miller Road Bridges replacement permanent structures, yes.
Okay, good. So that's starting to happen,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
You're right.
The annual liquid fuels report, submitted to PennDOT on 1/27.
That was approved.
Okay, good.
And, the project for the FDR project, which is next on the agenda, was also submitted and
And
approved.
approved.
So our funding is not gonna be held up by anything.
Oh, that's good. Alright, the low salt supply emergency request process.
In the event of, this is just the way the request would have to happen, just in case it needed to be.
So if there was an emergency because we are possibly in the low salt,
Yep, you can, if they have the usage, if they have the amounts available, they could, in fact, give us what we need to get by, and then we would just replenish it, but there's a whole
and does Tony,
document.
do you have that document?
Yeah, I have,
Okay, good. Next we have the Growing Greener grant update. Is that this? No, that's this.
Did we fix the spreader on the one truck?
Finish this, please. What is this growing greener?
Growing Greener was the bundle that Joe Petrini had came and spoke about for the Bradford County Conservation District to submit Round Top Bridge for replacement with a couple of others, Wylissing Townships and Orwell Township. It was, they had a portion of the funds they requested awarded. They had since been trying to find other grants and funding to cover the rest of it so that it wouldn't be a partial. But at this point, we're at, each gets roughly $90,000 towards the project. The one that we had submitted was Round Top, which the estimated price was $220,000 for. He is working now with us and Bradco and Contact Engineering for the full project estimates. They need to know if we have funding budgeted for this, and if it is budgeted, would you like us to develop a bid package and conduct a site showing as part of our project site showing in April/May. No funding is budgeted, we plan on 2027, and is that something that we would be considering having our crew to do the installation, or would it be contracted out? So these are just items that need to be relayed back to them so they know what direction to go in with our bridge.
I don't remember budgeting that $220,000 for that.
Because the initial talks was that
It was the
we were
grant.
gonna be able to get all of it.
Right.
If we were gonna have a 5% match up, which was the initial cost.
So I think that our answer to them would be, yeah, 2027, because we had anticipated the grant, which is what he told us. Next, we have the update for the upcoming LTAP courses on 2/5, so the 5th of February, there is an asphalt preservation microsurfacing, which is a virtual training from 11 to 12. And then the 19th of February, there is the PennDOT adoption of the 2023 MUTCD, which I do not know what that stands for. So,
ACED?
MUTCD.
Oh, okay.
MUTCD. So, that's also a virtual training or course from 11 to 12 on the 19th. Tony, had you anticipated on attending both of those?
Yeah, I would like to.
Could you, they come free, they're with our, subscription or our, PSERS, or our PSAT thing, is that right?
This is LTAP.
Okay, so,
These are all
what's it stand for?
Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices.
You need to report back to us and let us know what that means. And again, that's the virtual training, so it's of no cost to us, and you can do that right here from the office. No other business, I will at 7:18 adjourn us to executive session.
Teresa, can you say what the personnel, staff, and legal contract issues are you're gonna talk about in the executive session?
I think we just need to talk about our replacement for people, because we do have a retiree. Last meeting, Mr. Plink had given us his retirement, so I think we need to come up with a plan for that.
Excuse me,
Oh, yeah.
excuse me, before we go into that session, I'm reading over number 4 here, where it says 3 minutes and the 15 minutes, where did that come from? Did
What
you guys
number-
make that up? Is that other townships do that?
What
Stifle
number-
their
Hold on.
taxpayers?
What number 4 are you talking about? There's like 4
Right
different
here,
fours.
number 4 on your list of
Policies
how to conduct a
concerning
meeting.
public comment.
Because I don't think it's right that you stifle someone who's trying to make a point. And then I had 2 things to talk about. So that's at 6 minutes. You only give me 3.
Right.
There's only 3 people here talking, that's 9 minutes. You're supposed to have there's 6 minutes you cheated us out of, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the problem is you have
The problem is you don't wanna talk about what I wanted to talk about.
no, the problem is you have to be on the agenda. All 3 of you are on the agenda. You get 2 minutes. Yes, other municipalities have this exact same thing. This is not something we dreamed up. This is not something we were like, oh, you know what? I don't wanna hear from them. I didn't do that. That's not what we did. We did this because I have to leave in approximately 10 minutes to pick up my child, so we still have things that we have to do. We don't wanna be here till midnight, and there have been meetings that we have been.
This was discussed at an open meeting.
It was.
I couldn't tell you how
Years
many months
ago.
ago.
Years ago.
Months, years, and it was a group discussion at the time. Everybody was well aware when these rules were put in place. There was input from the public, it was discussed, and the board voted.
I wouldn't be here if they did their job 2 years ago.
And it can be
It's been
adjusted,
approved 3 years in a row.
or you can have a separate meeting to discuss what the residents want.
Still,
Sit down and shut up.
You're talking to me?
we got all the answers.
No, sir, neighbor, just keep paying the salary.
I hope not.
Just